Pinterest, and we'll do a big deep dive into Pinterest here. The only way to connect with your consumers, the ones that are going to think the thing that you're doing, that you've already validated, is cool, and they either want to buy it or do it, whatever it is through content. Now, when I first started giving this talk, maybe like 3 years ago, the word content meant a lot of different things than it is now. I still think the basis of a great content strategy is writing, start a blog, and start being an expert in your space, and start writing, like right now. But it also means photography, great photography. You cannot launch a restaurant in this city unless you have a solid Instagram strategy. And that's your content, you know? I don't know if anyone's really gonna read a restaurant blog, but they are gonna inhale your Instagram feed if it's good. And that's gonna fill your restaurant, it will. I'm a very big believer in your content strategy. You should have this before you launch your company. And if you've already launched your company, don't panic, but you're going to start doing it tonight. And it's, again, you have to do everything, test, and start to fine tune down. Again, at the end of this, I want you to have have a million ideas, test a bunch of them, and you want to get down to 4 or 5 or 6 that you do every single day. This company started with me on my back porch every morning, when it was just me, at 6 a.m., working on our content strategy till 10 a.m. And I had this rule, I wasn't even allowed to look at my inbox. Nothing. 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. every single day, going through my content strategy. So again, I said great content strategies always start with writing. You can apply what I'm about to say to photography, but you want to whiteboard every single idea. So I'll go back to ShiftHub for 1 second. The marketing engine we built for ShiftHub was brilliant. If you were a ShiftHub customer, you were either a restaurant or retail store owner or manager. Okay, what does that owner or manager think about? Do they want to read about me talking about fucking staff scheduling all day? No, no one does. I literally still don't. But what that manager or owner does want to hear about is how to spot an employee that will possibly churn, how to set up a great strike zone for the upcoming holiday season, how to manage my margins better. You want to become an expert in the space that your business exists in, because then they're going to trust you, and no one's going to buy anything from you if they don't trust you. When we applied that to World of Angus, it was how to take your this is the best list ever, because we get to play with dogs all day. How to take your new puppy to a park. 5 things to take on your first road trip with your dog. You want to start writing about stuff that people in the space will be interested in. Now again, back then we were one guy, me, on my back porch. I had another person who was a contributing writer, and she would write one story every 1 to 2 weeks. But I wanted to post a lot more than that. And I'm going to get into my little Pinterest hack that we developed. We started Angus Post, which was the beginning of our media site. And I built it on something called Pressly, which is a really easy build. Honestly, in an hour you can have one of these things set up. They're not cheap, but it's worth it. Pressly is a platform which lets me publish curated content to a hub that I set up, so it's on my domain. So for example, I would go on BuzzSumo every morning and look for content that was trending. Everyone write down BuzzSumo, because finding content is so easy on BuzzSumo, because it also tells you where it's trending. Is it trending on Twitter, Pinterest? It's a really great product. They have a pro version that's like $50 a month, but the free one is pretty damn good. I would post about 100 articles a week. Now for me, I was looking for stuff that was trending, stuff that was on brand. I didn't really post a lot of bleeding heart stuff. Puppies always did well. Anything to do with military dogs always did well, especially in the US. But what I looked for were articles that had really great pictures. Because let's say there was one, I remember this one BuzzFeed article. It was 33 of the cutest Doberman pinschers you've ever friggin' seen. Okay, and it was all these little puppies.